There's something you have to admit to yourself, bro. Watching porn is ruining your life, especially if you're someone who wants to do big things like create $1 million business or be the head of a family. It's a huge responsibility, more so than just making money for yourself. When you have to take care of other people, you can't let them down. Porn destroys your ambition and drive to actually improve your life. And here's why. Your brain doesn't know the difference between real sex and watching porn. When you watch porn and you finish, your brain thinks you just successfully reproduced. It thinks you have accomplished the most important biological goal you have as a man. So what happens then? Your brain releases all these reward chemicals and tells you mission accomplished. You did it. You're winning at life. Except you didn't do anything in the real world, and you're actually still a loser living with your parents, and there's your dirty underwear on the bed. You didn't even make your bed this morning. You sat in your room by yourself and watched a screen and jerked off to it. If you want to learn from me step by step how I've made up to $2,600 in a single day in profit with my online business selling digital products, I've created a school community and program where I'm gonna teach you exactly that step by step. The link for it is in the description below. You'll be able to see exactly what's inside, client results, and more. So click the first link in the description below. Imagine you're starving, and instead of actually eating food, you just look at a picture of a steak. Your brain knows the difference, right? You're still gonna be hungry. With porn, your brain doesn't know the difference. It thinks you actually ate the steak, so to speak. It thinks you won. So it stops making you hungry. And that hunger, that drive to actually get the steak, if we keep with that metaphor, to actually become someone who can afford the steak, that's your ambition. And porn kills it. Because you didn't have to get in shape. You didn't have to make money. You didn't have to do any kind of effort. You didn't even have to develop social skills. All you had to do is to open up the incognito navigation and type in your favorite website. You didn't have to become someone valuable. You got the reward without doing any of the work. And this is absolutely devastating because the most primal drive you have as a man to be sexually successful is being satisfied by pixels on a screen. So why would your brain be motivated to go to the gym? Why would you feel motivation to build a business, to wake up early for it? Why would you be motivated to become better? Your brain is already tricked into thinking you're winning at life, that you're successful, but you're not. This is exactly why the most successful, driven people you know aren't wasting their energy on this garbage. They're channeling that sexual energy, which is the most powerful energy stored in your body, into building a business, their body, relationships, a life for themselves. And you need to do the same. Now, this brings me to my next point, and I know for a fact this is gonna piss off some people, but it's simply the truth. And if you can't handle the truth, get off this channel. It's not for you. Porn trains you to be a cock. Yes, you heard that right. I'm not joking. Think about what you're doing when you watch porn. You're literally sitting there, jerking off, while you're watching another man be with a woman you want. You're getting aroused, watching someone else win, while you're there observing. If you did that in real life, you would be a cock. So just because you do it with a picture on a screen or a video doesn't make you any different. Like, imagine you're at a party. There's this girl you think is extremely attractive, and instead of talking to her, instead of making a move, you stand in the corner and you watch another guy talk to her. You watch him flirt with her. You watch him leave with her. And while you're watching all of that, you're somehow feeling satisfied. You're somehow getting your needs filled just by observing. Does that sound pathetic to you? Yeah, in real life you'd probably feel jealousy. You'd be pissed you can get that girl and you can't. But that's exactly what you're doing when you watch porn. You're the guy in the corner. You're the spectator. You're the guy sitting on the sidelines watching other guys win. It's like if I gave you a video game, the best video game ever made, but you don't even play it. You just look at the cover, or you look at someone else playing it. And even if you're watching a girl by herself, you're still being a simp, especially if you pay for OnlyFans and shit like that, because you're not gonna be with that girl. She doesn't even know you exist. You're giving her your attention, your energy, your time, and you're getting absolutely nothing in return. None of it is real. The girl on the screen isn't into you. She's not thinking about you. She doesn't care about you. You're just one among millions of other guys watching her. Like, especially on OnlyFans, you're just one of tens of thousands of guys watching her, and you're all delusional, thinking there's some kind of connection there. And the worst part about this is that when you develop this mentality of being a passive observer, watching other people live life while you're sitting here, it doesn't just stay in your porn habit. It bleeds into every other area of your life. You start watching other people build businesses instead of building your own. Does that sound familiar? Because you've probably been doing exactly that. You watch other people make money instead of making your own. You watch YouTube videos about success instead of actually going out there and doing what it takes to become successful. Winners take action and create. Losers just consume and watch others do it. You have to choose which side you want to be on. And every single time you're watching porn, you're telling your brain, I'm okay with being a loser. Porn gives you a fake sense of abundance that keeps you settling for less in real life. Your brain thinks you basically have unlimited access to beautiful women. It thinks you have options. It thinks you're some kind of successful player and you can have whoever you want whenever you want. But in reality, you have nothing. You haven't washed your underwear in 2 days. You're alone. You have zero real options. It's like, let's say you're playing a video game, and in the game, you are a billionaire. You've got mansions, cars, private jets, literally everything you could possibly want. You've got it. And you play that game every single day. Your brain starts to feel like, oh, you're actually rich a little bit. You get dopamine hits from buying virtual things. But then you close the game, and you're sitting in your tiny apartment, broke with nothing, and all you eat is pasta. Because you can't afford anything better. That is what porn does to you. It's a video game where you trick your brain into thinking you're sexually abundant, but in real life, you have absolutely nothing. And this fake sense of abundance is one of the most destructive things about porn because it makes you okay with being mediocre. You don't feel the urgency to improve yourself because your brain already thinks you're doing fine. You don't feel the need to get in shape because your brain thinks you're already sexually successful. You don't feel the need to make more money or to develop social skills or to become someone valuable. Again, because your brain is being tricked into thinking you already are there. Meanwhile, the guys who aren't watching porn, they feel that hunger. They feel that desperation to become better because they're not getting that fake satisfaction somewhere else. They're actually starving for more. And that hunger is what drives them to actually take risks, to take action every single day, while you're stuck in the same place playing your little video game, so to speak. If you want to learn from me step by step how I've made up to $2,600 in a single day in profit with my online business selling digital products, I've created a school community and program where I'm gonna teach you exactly that step by step. The link for it is in the description below. You'll be able to see exactly what's inside, client results, and more. So click the first link in the description below. And as if that wasn't bad enough already, there's more. The content you watch escalates over time. What used to get you off a year ago doesn't work anymore. You need more and more extreme content to get the same feeling. And that's exactly how, before you know it, you start developing these weird-ass fetishes and fantasies you would have never had otherwise. Your brain is literally like a drug addict. You probably already know this. The first time someone does a drug, a small amount gets them high. That's even true with caffeine. But over time, they need more and more to get the same feeling. That's tolerance. And the same exact thing happens in your brain with porn. The normal stuff doesn't get you off anymore. It stops working. So you need something more intense, more extreme, more shocking, more violent. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There's gonna be some people watching this video, they watch extremely fucked up porn because they're so deep in the rabbit hole. You've probably had those moments of post-nut clarity where you're sitting there thinking, what the hell did I just watch? Why did I get off to that? And you feel disgusted with yourself. You feel like you don't even recognize yourself anymore. You feel like shit. Whereas normally after sex with someone you love, you feel great. You feel loved. But then with porn, a few days later, or even a few hours later, you do it again. And each time, you're going a little bit further down this destructive path. You're rewiring your brain in the worst possible way. You're literally creating new neural pathways that associate sexual pleasure with things that are incredibly messed up. And the scary part is, it happens so gradually that you don't even notice until you're way too deep. This is not the kind of person you want to become, believe me. This is not the kind of fucked up brain you want to have. And every single time you watch porn, you're moving further and further away from being the successful man you want to be. You're becoming someone with fantasies and fucking fetishes you wouldn't even respect. The good news is that quitting porn is one of the fastest ways to reclaim your energy and focus. The mental clarity you get back is absolutely insane. You get more energy, more drive, more confidence, more focus. Everything in your life improves. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. When I quit, everything in my life got better. I stopped hating myself too. When you stop watching porn, it's like someone turned the lights back on. You suddenly have so much more energy. If you're always exhausted, like how often do you jerk off to porn? Seriously. And now, you'll be open to real opportunities in the real world instead of wasting hours draining your energy on pixels on a screen. Like imagine you're carrying a 50-pound backpack everywhere you go. You feel like shit all the time. You feel tired all the time, but you don't even know why. Because you've been carrying the backpack for so long, you've forgotten it's there. You just think, this is how heavy life is supposed to feel. But then one day, someone takes the backpack off your shoulders, and suddenly you can move, you can run, you can jump. You feel so light. You feel so great. That is exactly what quitting a bad habit like porn does. It's an addiction. You don't necessarily realize how much it's weighing you down until you stop, and that's exactly why it's so dangerous. If you think, oh, it's fine to watch porn, you are brainwashed. And when you quit porn, your work improves, your relationships improve. You can actually hold a conversation with a woman without being scared and shaky and weird. Your confidence improves. You stop being this foggy, low-energy version of yourself and you become sharp again. Now look, I'm not gonna lie to you and say it's easy to quit. Like with any bad habit, quitting porn is not easy. The first couple weeks are gonna be hell. Your brain is gonna fight you. It's gonna try to convince you that you need it. It's gonna give you every excuse in the book you can think of. But if you can push through that, if you can get to 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you will become a completely different version of yourself. Quitting porn is one of the highest return on investment changes you can make in your life. Porn prevents you from forming deep connections. It keeps you in this lustful state that prevents emotional commitment. Imagine you have a river of water. This river represents your sexual energy. Now, if that river flows in one direction, toward one person, toward one relationship, it flows with power, it flows with force. It creates a bond that's deep and real and lasts. But if you take that same river and you split it into 100 different streams, each one of them going in a different direction, what happens? Each stream becomes weak, shallow, meaningless. That is exactly what porn does to your sexual energy. It splits it into 1,000 different directions. You're spreading your attention and your desire across hundreds, even thousands of different women on a screen. Like 12-year-old boys nowadays have seen more women naked than ancient kings. How fucked up is that? That can't be good for your brain. And because of that, you can't fully commit to one real person if that's what you want deep down. You always have one foot out the door. You're always wondering if there's something better. You can't fall in love properly because you're not channeling all that energy into one relationship. And if you can't commit to one person in a relationship, I mean, you're not going to be able to commit to anything else in your life. How you do one thing is how you do everything a lot of the time. And if you have kids, they're going to see that you're kids. They're going to see a father who's not fully present. Like, can you think about how horrible this is? If you yourself grew up with a father who wasn't present, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Do you really want to replicate that on your own kids if you want to have kids? So this isn't just about you. Every decision you make in your life, especially if you have a family, it's never just about you. This is about your future family. This is about the kind of man you want to be. And you can't be a successful, respected man while you're still jerking off to porn 5 fucking times a day. If you want me to help you build a profitable business so you can have fucking money, enough money to do whatever you want, provide for your family, be the man of the fucking family, check out the links in the description below, and I will see you on the other side.